An eagle is so designed that it never engages with a potential predator when approached for an attack. It simply flaps its wings and elevates higher and higher. It does this because most creatures are not able to survive on increasing altitudes. What a mindset to have as an eagle, as what us as human beings can only see as an animal. Welcome to Chronicles with Stephie. Think of a word, a positive word, and it may just be a chronicle shared in this space. Let's make life more meaningful. Hi everyone, welcome back to Chronicles with Stephie. Welcome to season 4. If you don't know, we are in the 4th season of Chronicles with Stephie, and today's episode is entitled Rising Above. So if this is something that you're interested in listening to, or if you just enjoy listening to my voice, let's get into today's chronicle. It's Chronicles with Stephie, season 4, Rising Above. Now, I'm not even going to pretend I'm not going to come and sit on these people's internet and make it seem like I'm having the most fantastic day or fantastic time. I'm grateful for my life and to be alive, but my God, has it been a trying week, a trying month. It's been some true trying moments, and you will hear it in my voice as I'm recording. I'm not, again, going to be fake or paint a facade that, I'm as bubbly as I normally am, because I love my episodes. I love writing, I love recording, I love seeing this body of work and my vision come to life, but I am not there today. So I just ask for grace, just ask for patience and understanding. But the work must go on. A friend of mine will always say, one monkey don't stop the show. So the work must go on. And isn't that life? Isn't that, showing the true test of who you are as human beings? You don't want to do the thing, but you do the thing because you need to do the thing. Not for praise or recommendation or anything like that, but because it speaks to your true self. It speaks to your morals and your values, so you push through. So that is what I'm doing today. I can't let how I feel in this very moment, because it's very fleeting. I'm pretty sure it will go probably by the end of me recording, or even while I'm recording. I can't let this temporary feeling deny me to rise above. To rise above my current experience and circumstance. So let's go. Let's try to make life more meaningful today. Now, a not so much played song in my repertoire of music that I've managed to collect over the years. If you know me or have the privilege of being in my presence, I play some good music, okay? I'm just saying. I'm not the type to share, though. You have to be around me to enjoy it. But if you have that experience with me, you'll know one of the songs in my collection is called Higher by Nipsey Hussle, John Legend, and DJ Khaled. The reason it is not often played, though, by me is that it holds a very strong emotional sentiment. If you know, you know. If you don't, leave it be. Whenever I'm engaged with that song, I sit with, and not just sit with it, but I sit in it. Not because I know the lyrics word for word or anything like that, but because of what it means to me. Now, I was of two minds to title today's episode as Higher because of the song, but this song came to my mind. And I didn't want, looking back and re-listening to this episode, it took from me, the emotional sentiment I have towards the song. So with that being said, today's episode, I speak about learning to rise above. The only being I've ever encountered in my short years of living that rose from the dead is through the Holy Word, and that being was Jesus. I don't know anybody else. He rose from the dead, above the earth and into heaven, where he is seated now at the right hand of the Father, and he lives in and through me. And I'm happily going to dive into this chronicle because I've had my share of ups and downs in this very challenging yet awe-inspiring month of July. It would be ungrateful of me, inhumane at best, to only dwell on the negatives of this month and forget all the positive outcomes I've experienced, that has helped me to rise above. Jesus, a man who walked the earth in flesh to suffer the very same fate and temptations as we currently are facing today, died. He died. as we will all do. The only difference is he rose again. Talk about the phoenix rising from the ashes. And you know, fun fact, I think I've said it before though, in on this platform, I was almost going to be named Phoenix, Arizona. I have to laugh. I was almost going to be named Phoenix, Arizona by my dad. And you know, in hindsight, I wish that was my name. I wish my name was Phoenix. But I'm grateful for the name Stephie. My mother named me, so. But God became man. He was born to a virgin woman. That's what the text says. He became flesh, entered the world, and partook in a human experience. He also wept. Jesus wept. No, I'm not saying he wept due to his experience becoming man, which in the context that ain't so. And if you don't know, again, please go and read your word. That's not why he wept, but he surely did weep. He wept tears. Tears. A language often referred to as one that only God understands. Yet, as human beings, we cry very often. Well, I know, at least I do. I was always told, my daddy loved to remind me, you bawl every day, you bawl when you cry. Every day you cry. Every single day. You bawl every day as a little girl growing up, baby growing up. I don't recall that, so I can't accept or deny. I don't recall those formative years. But me bawl, and I love bawl. And you know, I recently released a very, very long and painful cry in the midst of what was my human experience. And I won't lie to you, I felt good after I did. Others, of course, not so much. You know, when them cry, it's like woe be unto them. But we're all not all the same. So I embrace when I have tears and I have to offer them up. God, you know, in his infinite wisdom, he would have it though that the following day I would rise from my slumber, praise be to God. I'd get up the following morning and carry out every single task that I would have previously committed to. And in essence, rise above the experiences that caused me to cry in the first place. My mind was engaged with completing the tasks that I had, being grateful for yet another day above ground, and, you know, choose to live, choose to forgive, choose to smile, choose to help, you know, choose to be respectful, choose to be courteous, choose to be patient, you know, choose my words carefully, you know, to learn and understand, but overall, again, to just live and not be consumed by a temporary bad experience. I had to just rise above. Did I want to necessarily? No. But I had to. And if I'm being honest, I felt better for it than to stay stuck in the mud. Now, I'm not the only one, obviously. We can all, feel free. I keep telling y'all, you know, the comments are there for you to share your own sentiments and experiences. Because, you know, we all literally experience an entity, an experience, whether flesh or spiritual, that enters our lives through whatever means to test us, engage with us, and or even attack us. We face this probably almost daily in our lives. It can be very daunting. Trust me, very frightening, very draining, boring, cynical, rigid. You know, it can be uncompromising, and the list goes on and on. The problem with rising above isn't engaging with that which flares our tempers, you know. It is literally the opposite. It is learning to adapt like an eagle, use our wings and fly away, to rise above, not engage and let the entity be, take form, take shape, take root in our lives. There's only so much the eagle is willing to take before it identifies the need to keep going higher and higher and higher, for not only its own survival, but the survival of those dependent on it. The eagle stays searching for food for its own, not to be distracted and torn down by a temporary experience. Its long-term goal or vision must be achieved by rising above. You know, and Jesus like the eagle, no, or maybe it's the other way around, the eagle like Jesus. You get the point I'm trying to make. Jesus chose to rise above his suffering, you know. He chose not to sin. He chose to follow the will of God. He chose to forgive Judas. Chose to not separate himself from his God-given purposes. He made a choice to live as his highest self in human form every single moment of his life. Now do me a favor, just slow down. And don't think that I'm comparing, you know, us human beings to that of Christ. That shoe will never fit. We are not worthy in the slightest. But what I'm doing is making a comparison between our suffering, the eagle's suffering, and Jesus' suffering. They may not all be experiencing the same manner, but hey, suffering is suffering. It takes great strength, which comes from practice and doing the well-needed work, to not allow or engage with negativity. I gotta say it again for the people that are in the back. It takes great strength. It's not nilly-willy. It's not fly-by-night. It takes great strength, which comes from practice and doing the well-needed work, to not allow or engage with negativity. It will present itself, but guess what? No weapon formed against us shall prosper. To not be offended by someone else's behaviors, especially when it is unrighteous or oppressive to each other, it takes strength. It is not easy to rise above a hurtful experience. For argument's sake, a drunk driving human being claiming the lives of 4 teenagers I read recently, and it broke my heart. Or very recently, a human being using a weapon to fatally injure a human being. Literally verbalizing it out of their mouth that they will do such thing, and fatally injuring this human being in their face. Likewise, the wars that are currently taking place globally, it's not easy. It's not easy to rise above those hurtful experiences. Living among and experiencing unpleasant, evil, vile behaviors by human beings is truly a test of survival. How does one rise above situations like those and not be consumed by it? Is a profound thought and question. How many of us can choose to say something kind or remain positive when met with discomfort? When faced with a challenge, when engaged in an unpleasant experience, how many of us can admit that we lack that capacity to be patient and understanding of another entity's being in order to help us ourselves to adapt and meet others or engage in experiences outside of our own comfort zone and not feel threatened? How many of us can rise above? How many of us are slow to anger? How many of us has that do unto others as they've done to me mentality? If you hit me back, I hit you back. How many of us respond for responding's sake, because you say it, me have to answer back? How many of us are selfless in empathy towards others? How many of us challenge our minds to think on things above, things that are set apart and of a higher intelligence? How many of us? It is very rare to meet others, as I said before, or engage in experiences outside of our own comfort zone and not feel threatened or challenged. To defend. We always have to be in defense mode. We are instinctive creatures after all, so I can't even deny that we live to defend ourselves. But defend ourselves from what, really? An opinion? A fact? A feeling? A visual representation of something we may have heard about ourselves? And the list goes on. How many of us truly defend ourselves to die to flesh and live in the spirit? How many of us hold on to our lives and hold on to what we think we know is right? I am going to, at this point, because it's coming to me now, and I have to re-listen to it for myself, I'm going to ask everybody, and if you've not done so before, I have an episode, the Chronicle is titled Truth. Please re-listen to that episode. It's available right here on Chronicles with Stephie in the podcast listings. But reflect on that person in the mirror and truly ask yourself, do you have what it takes to be honest with yourself and identify your shortcomings or flaws, for want of a better word? That which separates you from your highest self, and willingly engage in becoming a better person, a better version of yourself, having a better mindset, a mindset like Christ or that of an eagle, to keep rising above the insufferable moments in life? Can you truly live with always being in survival mode? Because man, I tell a lie, I can't do it. It is absolutely exhausting having to be on the defense every single time. Me is not a footballer. Me not play sports. And granted, in my profession, it's something that it presents itself to you daily and you feel like you always have to do it. But my God, it's exhausting. Don't get me wrong, our brains are adaptive. Well, our minds at least. The brain is just a fixed organ in the head. So therefore, we are not completely void of being transformed, but not always to be in defense mode. We can separate ourselves from negative emotive behaviors and pick sense out of nonsense. Although my grandmother would argue common sense is not common at all, and I have to believe her, but I digress. We are able to, if we choose, learn our patterns of behaviors that do not feed us positively and relearn the new ones that will. Life experiences shouldn't always come at the expense of sharing this and that, the other, every single day. Something should be kept close to the heart. That way we discern the good fruits that are building our spirit, rather than the fleshly ones that only destroys the body. For a share, I will eat morning, noon, and night. And I'm pretty sure, God, please, be a shield. Be a shield and buckler and defense. I don't really want to have diabetes a couple years from now. And me is a young girl. Although the age really has nothing to do with it nowadays. And that's a whole different story. I won't get into, what are they doing to the food? I won't go there. But leave it up to me and my own devices. I'll eat Ferrero Rocher every day. I will indulge in it every single day. And everybody has their own devices. They eat whatever it is that you indulge in every single day. But it destroys the body. In one way, shape, or form, it will destroy this flesh that will die. So it's incumbent to learn to read life and be equipped with the necessary tactics to engage in the rules of it, to engage in the rules of play, especially those that allow you to be steadfast in your calling, keeping your eyes on the ultimate vision. Guys, we aren't here forever. It is pointless to arise every day and live as less than. It's pointless every day to arise and not live as our highest selves. Now, there's a song entitled Let It Rise by William Murphy. My God of eternal grace. My mother used to play this song religiously. It was literally one of the most played songs in our household. She loved this. The woman loved the song. The song is titled Let It Rise by William Murphy. And in essence, it speaks to, it's in the title of the song, but for context, the essence of the song is really letting the glory of God rise above us. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to grant context for those listeners who may not have a relationship or belief in God. Now, the glory of God is beyond flesh. It is not an extension of flesh. It's not. Meaning, his works, though performed in the human context or view of life, were not works from the source of man, just being man or being human. It was spirit-filled and spirit-led. It was God-given, beyond the here and now and what you can see with your naked eye. It was above himself as a man, literally. The song repetitively says the word rise a total number of 41 times. And I will stress this word as I come to the end of this episode. Rise, gems. Rise above the experiences that are not in your heart's favor. It's not meant for you. Rise above the negative connotations that it presents in your daily life, your mind, your body, your spirit. Rise above the hurt, the disrespect, the pain, the discomfort, the lies, the mistrust, the devastation, the traumas. Rise above the shame, the guilt. Rise above the distractions, because many are they. Rise above the violence, as obvious as it is that, wake up and we see it every single day. We'll have to learn to rise above it. Rise above the disharmony, the unrighteousness, the abandonment, confusion, betrayal, disloyalty. Rise above your old ways, your mentality and poor attitude and behaviors. Adopt a likeness of Christ, gems, or the eagle. If you don't believe in Jesus, adopt the behavior of the eagle who, not wanting to give up, disappears, breaks its beak to form a new one, and pluck out its feathers to form new ones, so that it can be rebirthed with new strength and agility. Adopt the mindset of the phoenix that rises and goes on to soar. Adopt the mindset like Christ, who knew he would be betrayed, but still chose to forgive and be resilient to his very end, knowing that he would rise again. We are not meant to stay down. There's a pit and a palace for a reason. Stop, please, 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 please. I'm going to stress this point because I'm coming to the end. We're literally at the end of this episode. Please stop denying yourself the right to rise above. Please stop denying yourself the right to rise above, to rise again and remain in your highest form. I'm going to play naive around here, so I'm going to try to talk that. We know that not every day we'll be at top form. But that's why we have each other, to to hold us up in accountability, reminding us gently of our true selves and who we ought to be. We are true light beams, true spiritual giants made in the image and likeness of Christ. Please stop running away from being the best version of you. Running away from love, running away from correction, humility, gratitude, peace, joy, understanding and patience, morals and values, being still, discerning, faithfulness, being just and upright in the image that reflects in your mirror, if you can only choose to stop and stare. We are our greatest treasure. We are meant to elevate, seek higher grounds for shelter in the storm in order to live, not just survive. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind's gem, so that your mind, oh my days, so that your mind can be a place of solace, not a place of desolation. Oh my goodness. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that it can be a place of solace, not a place of desolation. Let your mind anchor your life to the source of your life, so that your outlook can always be positive. Do not dwell on the issues that life has to offer, and believe me, they are tenfold. Them did have to stress you out. But please try not to succumb to the ills and aches. Don't feel battered and wounded all the time. Open your minds to view experiences and their outcomes from a different vantage point, not always from the place of comfort, because we fear the unknown. Go sit down in nature. Go up into the mountains. Feel the rain on your skin, the sunshine on your face, and give a semblance of calm to your nervous system. Don't strive to always be in fight mode. Learn to fly. Give yourself and your life a chance to rise and rise and rise and rise and rise and rise again and again and again and again. Keep your head held high. Look up and inhale the beauty of life and exhale the tragedies. As per usual, peace and love and light. Rise above gems, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye everyone.